Hi guys, I love spices. I love having a wide variety of spices on hand, so I'm going to show you where I keep them and why I organize them the way that I do and how I ensure that they stay fresh. The first spot is right here in my spice rack, and at the end of the video I'll give you my opinion on this spice rack, which I just bought, and I also have some suggestions of things to consider if you're thinking about buying a new spice rack yourself. So this is where I keep my most commonly used spices and also things that I would typically only use a sprinkle or a few sprinkles of while I'm cooking. So this is a very convenient spot to have those on hand. Next, I have this drawer here. Actually, it's a cupboard, but my husband installed this little drawer system for me, which works really well. I have everything stored in mason jars, pint size for the most part, but then I have a few smaller jars as well. And I use the Ball brand plastic lids, which I really like a lot. And I keep things in here that are either too large for the spice bottles. For example, I like to keep my herbs like my parsley, my rosemary, my basil. I like to keep them in a larger leaf size form, and I don't crush them up until I'm actually cooking with them. So those, also something like these onion flakes, which I dehydrated. These are way too big to keep in my little spice bottles next to my stove because not only would they not pour out nicely, but I'd have to refill the spice bottles all the time, and I don't need more work. So I keep them, those things in here. Other things I keep in these jars might be something like chili powder or taco seasoning. Those are items that I'm going to use by the spoonful, so a little sprinkle would not be enough. So I'm actually taking spoonfuls out. And then there's just a few things that I don't use all that frequently, and that's where I keep them. I just wanted to mention, yes, the label on my ginger is looking a little dirty, so I need to replace that label. And if you haven't seen any of my other videos where I mention where I get my labels, I get all of the templates from the Avery website. There's so many different templates to choose from. I really love it. I use them to make labels all throughout the house. And one little suggestion that I have, if you're gonna make labels for things like pantry items, things that you're gonna wanna wash, once these get wet, these ones will start to get all wrinkly. That's kind of what happened to the ginger. It has a little bit of a wrinkle in it. Same thing with my taco seasoning. The label is starting to lift a little bit. So what I would suggest is, and I should have done this, but I didn't, when you're printing labels like this, print a lot at a time. Like I should probably have done maybe 4 of each label. That way I just have them on hand in a folder. When I need to swap them up, it's easy. It won't be too hard for me because I did save my templates on the website. So I will just have to go back into the website and reprint those labels out. And then here in my pantry is where I keep a lot of store-bought spice blends and then just some things I buy in smaller quantities that I don't use all that often. Excess spices are up there. Those are all the packages that I use to refill my spice rack. And if any of you saw, sorry about that. If any of you watched my pantry organization video, I'm proud to say, look how clean I've kept it. It's been over a week and it's still nice and tidy. One thing I changed is I had to move my coffee syrup back in. Anyways, and I'll show you the last place now that I store spices. And then down here in my basement pantry is where I keep the excess dehydrated herbs from my garden. And everything here is vacuum sealed in these jars. So just things from the garden, extra supplies. I also keep some unopened new store-bought spices. And that is the end of it. So how do I keep everything fresh and ensure that I'm using it all? I mean, I do use, I don't know, tell me, is this more than what most people have? I really don't know. I haven't looked in many people's pantries, but I don't know. I think I have a little more than the average person. So how do I keep it fresh? All right, here are 2 examples of how I keep things fresh. You can see that this bottle of chives is only half full. So let's just pretend, because this isn't chives, but let's pretend this is chives. I have a brand new package of chives. I have my half-filled bottle of chives. I'm not going to fill this up with a new package until I've gone through all of this, finished it off, and cleaned the bottle out. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to continually put brand new product on top of older product, okay? So even though it would look really nice if the bottle was filled to the top, I'm not going to do that. resist the temptation. I'm gonna wait until this is all completely used up. Then I can wash the bottle and I can put a brand new package of chives in here. With my smoked paprika, this is a different story because I have a large bottle of smoked paprika already open. So I think in this case, it's totally fine to just keep topping it up. When this bottle is empty, I'm not gonna open a new bottle until this is completely finished and I've washed out the jar. Okay, so always use up all of your old product before you start putting new product into your jar. Gives you an opportunity to wash the jar, freshen things up, and start with a brand new bottle of spices. I follow that rule with my baking supplies too. If you're taking any of your baking products, flour, sugar, baking powder, that type of thing, if you're moving those from the store-bought package into a container of some sort, make sure that you don't ever open a brand new package and start pouring it on top of the old product. Use up whatever is the older stuff before you open the new, okay? And that's it. So I had just received my new spice rack when I started making this video, and it isn't exactly a product review video, but I'm just gonna show you how that went. So I opened up my new spice rack, took it out, had to put all the bottles through the dishwasher, and the lids unfortunately were one piece. They just twisted, but they couldn't separate. So I did the best I could, gave them a good wash and a rinse, and then of course I gave the rack itself a nice little wash. Then I was left with the issue of how am I going to get the lids to dry out when they don't come apart. So what I did is I placed them on a baking sheet on a towel, and then I put them in my oven just using the bread proof setting. If you don't have a bread proof setting, you could probably just keep your oven light on, leave them overnight. Every once in a while I went in and twisted them to make sure they were drying, and after about 5 or 6 hours they were nice and dry. So then came the fun part of filling all of the jars. So I got everything put in there, and then I started to realize that the spice rack itself was so light, and the bottom was just a hard plastic that just slid on the counter. So I got these little rubber grippy things, and you just peel and stick them, place them on there just to give it something to kind of hold it in place. And it did help a little bit, although a heavier spice rack would have been much better. Now for my old spice rack, I decided I'm just going to recycle the glass bottles and throw the lids and the rack away. I realized after thinking about it that I've had this spice rack for over 15 years, just because I remember where I lived when I bought it, and that is a really long time. So I think that it's had a good long lifetime, and it's time for me to let it go. And then total catastrophe, I actually dropped the very last bottle that I was filling, and I ended up wasting about 1.5 or 2 tablespoons of the dill that I started from seed and grew in my garden and harvested and dehydrated. So I don't know what was more upsetting, the fact that I was now short 1 jar or that I lost all of that dill. So anyway, there was no way that I was going to be able to, because I bought this on Amazon, there was no way I could get a replacement jar. I tried to find information on the seller, and looking into it, it seems like the seller doesn't even exist. So I just had to buy another spice rack and take a bottle from that and replace the one that I broke. So I've never, in all of the years that I had my last spice rack, I never broke or chipped or cracked a jar, not once. So I just couldn't believe this happened. Okay, so I wasn't even gonna label my spice bottles because I kind of like the way just the clear glass looks. But then I thought, when my husband is cooking, he might not easily distinguish between, garlic powder, onion powder, etc., etc. So I decided that I would label them. I was going to use my little P-Touch label maker, and I thought I could just do a clear label with just black font on it. But I've used those labels before, and they can start to peel a little bit. And then if you try to take it off, you're left with the sticky adhesive. So what I decided to do in the end is I printed out some really tiny labels. I just picked these up at Staples and printed them out. They're super small, and I was gonna stick it on the front of the jar, but I really just want to keep the glass clear. So I decided I would just stick the labels right on the bottom. And for the most part, we can tell what's in the jar. But for something like chili and paprika, they're a little close in color. We'll just be able to look at the bottom. So this is the brand of spice rack that I got. Can you see that? that's the spice rack. And also, I am so dumb. I just cannot believe how dumb I am. These are the bottles, and remember how I made such a fuss about how the lids didn't come apart in two pieces? Well, I'm going to show you what they look like on the inside. This is what they look like. All right. And that's why I just thought that I couldn't pull them apart. I didn't want to risk pulling it apart because I thought it might crack the lid. I thought that that little metal piece coming through the center hole it just looked like it was bigger on the inside. So anyway, I didn't want to risk breaking it. But now that I have all the backup lids, I decided to see if I could pull it apart. And guess what? It comes apart. So my apologies to this spice rack maker. The lids do come apart, and you know, I don't know what I can say about that, but they come apart. So aside from me being so dumb about the lids, it took about, after I broke the bottle, I had to reorder the spice rack, and it took about 2 days, I think, to get the second spice rack, which I have right here. So now I have 11 backup bottles and lids in case I break another jar, another bottle. So even though I was wrong about the lids, the only other comment that I have about the spice rack is that it just wasn't heavy enough to sit nicely on the counter without sliding all around. Another thing to consider is how many spices you need to have on hand. For example, the spice rack I bought for my daughter holds 20 spice bottles. So that worked out better for her because she has a little bit less cupboard space in her kitchen. And she's also not going to be buying huge quantities of spices. So just having small little packages that fit into her spice rack is perfect for her. Anyways, have fun organizing your spices. Make sure that you keep an eye on your expiration dates. The spices that you have can actually go rancid, so you really want to pay attention to how quickly you're going through them, and make sure that from time to time you're emptying out those bottles before you put new product in and giving them a nice wash. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.